Today, we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones.
Okay, I don't even know where to begin with this story, but we'll start with this. So the mayor of Chicago has just created ICE-free zones within Chicago, even though this just happened.
Possibly more alarming is that when calls went out that agents were being surrounded by protesters, a message went out from the Chicago Police Office of Emergency Management and Communication from the Chief of Patrol saying no units will respond to that.
Yeah, ICE agents were attacked, a car smashed into their vehicles, protesters surrounded them, and the police were told to stand down, do not report to that call. So we have a lot to cover in this video because right now it looks like Chicago is going to be the next showdown between the federal government and the mayor of Chicago. Now, before we start the video, make sure to please like the video. It's the #1 way you guys are helping this channel, and it also helps others see the videos as well. You guys have been doing such an awesome job in promoting these videos. We are quite literally helping communities within the United States just by simply reporting the facts. So thank you for your help.
In the Brighton Park neighborhood, that's on Chicago's southwest side. When it was over, one woman was shot. 2 others arrested. Our Marissa Sulik was on the ground after dozens of protesters reportedly boxed in.
Okay, before we get to the mayor, we need to clear up some confusion. It turns out there were 2 separate attacks on ICE agents on the same day involving protesters taking their vehicles and smashing it into ICE agents. Here is the first attack, where 10 vehicles were involved, surrounded ICE agents, and smashed into their vehicles. Here is the second attack, where 2 protesters took their vehicles and smashed it into ICE agents as well. So again, this is a very dangerous mission for ICE agents. But it turns out the police were told to stand down.
Documents say near Brighton Park Saturday, an agent fired at the driver of one of the attacking vehicles. Miramar Martinez was struck by one of at least 5 shots fired by the agent. The driver of another vehicle used in that same attack was also arrested and charged.
And just to clarify, this attack right here, those were the 2 protesters, not the 10 vehicles, the 2 protesters who decided to smash into ICE agents.
Sparked protests and clashes with federal agents who deployed tear gas and used pepper balls to try to control the crowd. Possibly more alarming is that when calls went out that agents were being surrounded by protesters, a message went out from the Chicago Police Office of Emergency Management and Communication from the Chief of Patrol saying no units will respond to that. Multiple police sources have confirmed the authenticity of that message, and it's backed up by audio of the stand-down order.
Send the cars in that direction. Have them stay put 2 or 3 blocks away, all right? Have them hold tight until I give you further direction, please.
And remember, this is when ICE agents had to engage a protester who had a firearm on them, and the ICE agents, the vehicle smashed into the ICE agents, and here you have the police saying, nope, stand down, back up, don't get involved.
Again, per the Chief of Patrol, we have all the units that per 999, Chief of Patrol said all units clear out from there. We're not sending anybody over to that location. All right, and 999, just to confirm, 39th Police in Kedzie, they were saying that they were being surrounded by that large crowd, and they were requesting the police were not sending. I'm waving off all the cars heading to 39th Place.
It almost sounds like the dispatcher's like, okay, you're saying they have been surrounded by protesters, a firearm was used, and there's tear gas, it's pretty chaotic. You want me to wave everybody off. You can almost hear it in her voice.
Again, those are the orders we're being given.
Wow.
Now, in an official release, Chicago police say they did, in fact, respond after the vehicle attack and the shooting, writing, CPD responded to the scene to document the incident. CPD officers were also on the scene to maintain safety and traffic control.
However, the big question is, why was there hesitation? Why did you guys not immediately respond when Homeland Security was asking for help? Now, the mayor of Chicago was also asked about this, and I think you'll find his response the same response we keep hearing from sanctuary cities, where there seems to be this gray area of, we're not going to help out Homeland Security or ICE, we don't get involved with deportation operations. Check this out. And by the way, if you haven't already, make sure to please subscribe to my channel so I can keep you guys informed on this story and others just like it. On my channel, we make sure to cross-reference all of the facts, bring everything together so you guys can be well informed.
Confirm the reports that Chicago police were ordered to stand down when ICE agents were surrounded and rammed by cars. And do you want Chicago police not to help ICE agents?
Our police officers respond to every single emergency in this city. The brave women and men who sign up to serve and protect this city are committed to keeping us safe. And what we have made very clear is through our welcoming city ordinance, when it comes to civil immigration enforcement, absent a warrant, our police department will not dub as federal ICE agents.
So again, this is where we get into the gray area. That was not the question. The question was, in context, will you help ICE agents? But it was in the context of, did you tell your police officers to stand down? Again, as somebody who covers Portland like the mecca of the sanctuary cities, this is the exact same thing that the Portland police officers have actually been complaining about. There is no clear distinction on when they can help out ICE and not help out ICE. Are you helping out ICE when it comes to them being surrounded by protesters? That seems to be a clear distinction from helping out ICE with a deportation raid. But again, this is where it gets very gray for sanctuary cities, and Chicago is a sanctuary city.
In fact, we believe it's antithetical to driving violence down in the city of Chicago. When people call 911, we do not ask what their immigration status is.
I don't think any 911 operator does, by the way, in the United States. You guys can fact check me on that.
Right? And so our police department will respond to every incident in which their services are needed to keep people safe. Protecting the fundamental right to be able to protest, ensuring the maximum safety of our residents, that is the top priority of our administration.
Can you confirm, though, were Chicago police told to stand down?
What I can confirm is that our police department responds to every single 911 call. When 911 is called and there's an emergency, our police department shows up.
And again, those officers did respond to the 911 call, but in context, they were quite literally told to back off, stand down, wait till further orders. Remember, this was a very dangerous situation. It was an all-hands-on-deck situation. We have used a firearm. We are surrounded. We want to make sure everything is safe, yet you have officers who were told to stand down. But I also want to point out the mayor is not willing to say whether or not those officers truly did respond. All he said was, generally speaking, our officers respond to every 911 call. So again, you guys can leave your comments down below how you feel about this, but I think you'll find this next part rather interesting as well.
Today, we are signing an executive order aimed at reining in this out-of-control administration. The order establishes ICE-free zones. That means that city property and unwilling private businesses will no longer serve as staging grounds for these raids.
Hey, just for some legal clarification, just so you guys are aware, ICE agents can be kicked out of a private residence. If the private residence or business doesn't want them there, they can kick ICE out. So again, I'm hoping to get a little more clarity as far as what exactly this law means, because ICE agents don't and can't just walk into a residence or private business unless they have a warrant. But the point I'm trying to show you guys is that now the mayor is creating policies to really create further distance of ICE being able to do their job. And it's not only ICE. ICE is also embedded with like the FBI and other federal agencies to conduct investigations. So you guys can leave your comments down below how you feel about this. And I have another clip that I think you'll find rather interesting. Basically, the mayor of Chicago is shifting most, if not all, of the blame on the Trump administration and the right wing. That's his wording, not mine.
I said very candidly that the right wing in this country wants a rematch of the Civil War.
No.
I want that to sit in right now, because
I can assure you that is not anything we advocate for on my channel. In almost every single video, you can look into the receipts. I always ask for prayer for peace at the end of my videos. So no, generally speaking, across the board, I think the right wing just wants accountability. And when you have a mayor and a police department that was caught standing down and not immediately responding to help out federal agents, I think this is where the problem happens within the right wing.
The President of the United States of America has declared war on the people of Chicago and people across.
Also not true. Just want to fact check. I don't want to give you guys the wrong information. President Trump has not declared war on Chicago.
America. That's right. He's more interested in giving billions of dollars to other nations while farmers in urban cities around this country are literally being destabilized. And so whether it's the legal system, whether it's through executive order, or whether it's through the brave women and men who are serving as rapid responders. We literally have people who are volunteering in this city on the southwest side, the northwest side, all over this city to make sure that we're protecting children from being separated from their families.
Now, I think he's referring to these watchdog groups who post the information of ICE vehicles, such as license plates and other information. I don't know if it's supposed to be out there, but on my own channel, we have actually uncovered a state senator who has posted all of the information of ICE vehicles on her Facebook page. She edited the post. I don't know if she meant to delete it, but it's still on Facebook as I make this video. So I think he's referring to the watchdog groups who are looking into where ICE is. And I think you guys know the governor of Illinois has also said, make sure to post the pictures and let everyone know where ICE is. Verbatim, he said that.
And we're talking about volunteers who are literally putting themselves at risk of being shot and killed by the federal government. And so whether it's the legal system, whether it's our continuous struggle for liberation through organizing, and whether it's through executive action or whether it's through law, it would be nice if we actually had lawmakers in Washington that would actually hold this president accountable. And if they won't do it, then the city of Chicago will, using every single tool that's available to us.
Now, from a legal standpoint, as many of you are aware, we saw what happened over in California, where California passed this monumental bill on the state level that no federal agents are allowed to wear their masks during deportation raids. And obviously that cannot be enforced because that's a state level bill. Now imagine a city level bill telling the Trump administration what to do. This is basically a, who uses the word nothing burger? I hate to say that because that's not my catchphrase. I've never even said that. But this is really nothing at all. This is merely symbolic. So this is not enforceable in the rule of law as far as supremacy clauses, where the federal government reigns supreme over these clauses or laws. Now, ironically, the mayor of Chicago talked about these watchdog groups, and we have been covering on my own channel, so make sure to please subscribe. We actually cover politicians, lawmakers, social media influencers who post the information of ICE agents on the internet. And remember, this has become very problematic for ICE. It turns out in the 10-car incident where the 10 cars boxed in the ICE agents, one of the suspects actually was leaking the information of the ICE agents' information all over the internet. So again, ICE has been posting this all over their press release, where more and more of these social media accounts are actually starting to post the private information of ICE agents. I just wanted to point out, I find it a little ironic that we're talking about these watchdog groups. Meanwhile, this is the problem that Homeland Security has with the watchdog groups, or people who want to volunteer their time to expose ICE agents. One of them happened to be involved in the crashing into of ICE agents. Now, we do a lot of research on this channel, and I found this clip right here. This is a clip from one of the scenes where a live streamer was giving out the exact location. Here's what's going on. I have no way to confirm if it's because of this live stream protester showed up, but this is pretty much what happens. You have everyday citizens just on the street. They start live streaming, and she starts shouting out the street name, what's going on. Here is exactly what happened in the area as soon as one of these attacks happened.
Does anybody know his family? Yeah, there's a family, yeah. Thank you. Okay, good. So we know that These are citizens. They just got him because they thought he had a gun.
Okay, so there we go. The ones with the guns are out here. Check it out.
37 y Ketsi, 37 y...
So again, she is shouting out the street name, giving out information. This is a 3-minute long video, but of course the live stream was a bit longer. And by the way, she has every right to be filming if she wants. She's within a public area. She's not in trouble for this, but the point I'm trying to make is a lot of social media people, especially on TikTok, will observe and film, and people with bad intentions might take advantage of this and show up, and protesters did show up and surround these agents.
Ketsi, 37 y Ketsi, 37 y Ketsi.
But again, the question is,
37 y Ketsi.
why does she keep shouting out that exact same street name? Again, I am not accusing her of doing anything wrong here, but she keeps shouting out the street name, and many people ended up showing up. And by the way, just like Los Angeles, a lot of these groups are well connected, and they do have these rapid response teams, like you heard from the mayor. They show up immediately. And by the way, later in this live stream, I don't think she realizes she actually gave a ton of evidence to ICE agents. I think you might want to see this. And again, this is like something we catch all the time on my channel. I go through TikTok all the time. I don't give out the names, but we see people filming the evidence or even filming a crime.
Está bien, pero si hay un carro que es chocado, el carro que es chocado si es de alguien que pudo escapar.
She said somebody was able to escape. That is right. The person who was able to escape actually crashed into the ICE agents when you look into the documents.
Hay un carro chocado de alguien, miren, esa persona sí pudo escapar.
And just so you guys know, the FBI was actually ultimately involved with all of that, and everything is being processed now through the DOJ, the FBI, and Homeland Security. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to please like the video, get it out there, subscribe, leave your comments. We need to make sure people actually know what's going on in Chicago right now. Thank you guys so much for everything. And again, like I always say in all of my channels, we advocate for peace. We do not want a civil war. That is terrible to happen in this country. We only advocate for peace and the truth and all of the facts. God bless. Pray for peace. Thank you guys for everything, and we'll see you all later.